Use the code CHICKEN in the shop.
Hey guys, the Chicken is here. We are back today with another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we dropped a little bit. We're down to number 230. I think from yesterday we were at 200. So we're still looking pretty safe for the most part. We're not going to have to do any emergency jumping back in just yet at this point. Guys, if you haven't already, I appreciate it if you use that code CHICKEN in the shop. We actually have some pretty wild shop offers, if you guys didn't notice. And I think they're going to be around for more than like 6 seconds when they usually are. I don't know why they always do that. It's like they put something good in the shop. Like for example, this one's a good buy. That's a good deal if you're, upgrading your base and stuff like that. But it's just so stupid. It seems to me like they'll put a free instant train or something in the shop, but it's available for like 16 hours. It's like, what's the point? Make it available for like 5 days, and then we'll see them put shop offers in. Like, remember the one they did on the update, and it was available for like 279 days or something like that. It's like, duh, like who's putting this in there? It doesn't make any sense. This one's $70, but I mean, it's a lot of value in terms of resources. So, yeah, if you got some upgrades left to do, because if we look at this, I'll explain it actually in a second. 'Cause a lot of you are going to say like, no, Chicken, that's not true. I appreciate those using the code CHICKEN in the shop. So yeah, if we look at our wood safe, so my stone is essentially empty, right? Now let's look at an upgrade that's going to require a ton of stone. Do I have a builder going right now? Or no, I don't have anything that's able to be upgraded. What's the most expensive thing I have? Probably one of my cannons, I'm thinking. No, did I do all those? Sniper towers. So to buy the 4 million stone and 4 million wood, and we can hold about 8 or 10 million, that's going to cost 3,826 diamonds. Now, if we were to do that outright, what would that cost? 3,800. It would be $30. So $30 times 3 safes, that's $90 plus 45 trader tickets. And is the trader here? Can we open a pack? Actually, we can. Wow. So 45 trader tickets. It's not uncommon to get a couple million resources out of the trader crate. So I wanted to touch on that because it actually is pretty decent value. I know it seems absurd, and obviously, if you can just clear your map and boost, a resource reward statue, you can get that stuff in 15 minutes, no problem. I could get it probably in this video. That being said, it's not that bad value if you do want to spend money or spend gems. Yeah, so we got on a tangent there. So yeah, we're still looking all right for the top 500. But what I wanted to talk about this video, it took me this long to get here. Too excited today. What I wanted to talk about is some things they can do going forward to make a perfect tech tree. Now, I in no means am saying, do X, Y, Z every single season and make a perfect tech tree. Obviously, what goes into a tech tree is just the placement and the kind of the pacing of everything, and it really depends on whether it's a 3-week or a 4-week season. That being said, again, I want to get your guys' input. If you guys have thoughts or comments or things that you would like to see added, make sure to let me know down below in the comments, and we will definitely be reading through those. So, in my opinion, how to make a perfect tech tree. It goes in, the biggest thing is the pacing of the season, right? So, you can have all this stuff, you can have like cool new troops, yada, yada, yada. If it's not in the right spot, as was made so apparent in this last season, then it defeats the entire purpose. Like, having the Hidden Warriors at 70R makes absolutely no sense. Nobody's going to use them. It's cool. It's a new troop. Like, we were all excited about it at the beginning of the season. It's like, oh my god, we got a new troop. Like, that's always what we ask for our warships is, something new, something different. And, if it's not even, like, remotely close to being in the meta, then what's the point? Like, nobody's going to unlock it. Like, nobody wants to do bad just to unlock something new. So, the pacing is the biggest thing. Is, what are people going to be using at that specific time in the tech tree? And of course, it's a fine line. It's a very hard thing to do, I would imagine. Creating proper balance and, making sure that everything lines up with each other. But I'm going to go over some of the basics that we should know by now. So we should know by now that having no troop health or very limited troop health or 50 troop health seasons, always bad. Always a bad idea. Like, there's never a good reason to have low troop health. All it does is it just, allows it doesn't allow rather people that are paying for instant train or not paying for instant training to compete, because with low IT you are not able to, or sorry, with low troop health you're not able to, keep your troops alive. It's essentially impossible. Even if we're doing heavy rush, they're all going to die, and it's all going to take time. Now that comes into a different conversation where the whole instant training thing, and in my opinion, if you want to be competitive, you should be putting that towards the game to like support everything, and it's not a huge investment. Not going to touch that one. I know that's going to be a controversial topic, but that's just my opinion, anyways, on it. But yeah, so, but even so, like even without that, like the no troop health seasons are bad because number one of the instant training, and then number two, anything that makes it like impossible or extremely difficult, or if it takes hours to collect chests, that's got to be squashed. That cannot happen. That's just a bad season written all over it, and nobody's going to have fun grinding for hours, not necessarily because they're trying to, get to the next level or whatever, but just because they're simply trying to get their chest. That's not a good thing. Okay? So, low troop health, bad. Something that used to always happen early on was they used to always put barrage and artillery, super early in the tech tree, and they finally stopped doing that. They did it in the last season, but for whatever reason, I don't know exactly. I'm not going to pretend I know, the intricacies of each and every little effect on everything. But for whatever reason, the artillery wasn't like super overpowered this season. But whenever they've put artillery and barrage, especially super early on, but like before building health kind of thing at 3 yards, or super early at 4 yards without other many troops, it becomes a problem, because then it becomes who can, barrage or artillery down the other engine room the fastest, and that's no good. That's stupid. So, yeah, we're 7 minutes in, and I haven't even, touched on the tech tree as a whole. It's it's a big topic for sure, but I think those are some basic things that we should know by now. Heavies at the start. I know people complain, and I've probably complained myself about having heavy rush, heavy rush, heavy rush. But really, it's like, how else are you gonna slice it? Are you gonna use, because we want to avoid a fizzle meta where you can't use anything. That's what we want to get away from. And the easy way to do that is by heavy rush. Now this season, I felt like they could have put what are they called, the hidden warriors at the beginning, and that would have been cool. It would have been different. It would have been, probably viable. It's like if they do something like that, or if they give us warriors instead of heavies, for example, it can't be. They can't give us, all three of the mines at the same thing. I think that's honestly a problem too. And I don't want this to be like a complaining video. I'm just kind of trying to hash out some basics for a good tech tree, and it's just coming off like these are bad things. We'll talk about what some good things are in a second. I think having all three of the mines available super early on are a bad thing. I think shock mines should never be available until right around the time seekers are. So then it's like, if you want to rush to seekers, you still get a benefit from doing that. I don't want to just say seekers have to have tons of defenses going against them at all times, so they're unusable. But I think they need to be in that kind of area code of the seekers. I think that makes a lot of sense. Same how they kind of do the shock launchers. Usually they're usually around the seekers. This season, not really, but yeah. But anyway, so some good things that they can do. I think 150 troop damage is usually always good. If they can mix up the troops a little bit, like we've had seasons where bombardiers were super early on, and just little stuff like that, just to change things up. Like it doesn't always have to be machine guns, sniper towers, and cannons. Maybe we need to do like a bombardier at the start with boom cannons and boom mines, and then regular mines and other stuff like that is later on. Yeah, I think that would be interesting. And I think really, and I know OP's talked about this, I've talked about this before, the multi-nodes. I think the multi-nodes are where we can really make some cool and fun and interesting tech trees. The idea that's been tossed around by everybody is having, instead of prototype multi-nodes, which are cool, but the problem with them, complaining again, the problem with them is there's usually one dominant prototype. And I mean, it's not like we want to go back and forth either and spending, tens of thousands of diamonds and stuff all the time. But it's nice to just have some selection that fits your playstyle or fits what you want to do. So, for example, having a troop damage, building health, or troop health, troop health, troop damage, building health, building damage. I think what would be really cool is if every multi-node, if we get rid of the stat nodes, put in the prototype that's going to be dominant instead of the stat nodes, and switch every multi-node to be 4 choices between building health, troop damage, troop health, and building health, or whatever the one I didn't say at the start was. That way, you can totally customize your entire tech tree and your entire playstyle, just like how we do the main base, which is really, that's what makes Boom Beach so cool, was the statues and being able to build your base and build your playstyle exactly how you wanted it, right? Bring that into Warships and have your multi-nodes be all 4 of the stat nodes of the building health, building damage, troop health, troop damage. And I think what else would be cool is if we could play those off of the main base so you get an extra bonus percentage, maybe every day. It's like you got to clear, maybe not your map because that gets kind of, that becomes very time consuming. But maybe it's like until you have finished or done, I don't know, because not everyone can finish the daily events, but until you can finish or fail, like maybe you get an option on the daily event that says fail after you've done at least a few attacks, so it's not like you're just pulling it up and hitting fail. You get like an extra 1% boost on all your stat notes, or 5% or something like that. So it's like, before you go into Warships, you got to clear the event. Brings the main base into it. I don't know, something like that. I always thought that idea would be really cool and really fun, but kind of going off on a tangent. But you guys let me know. What do you think needs to go into making a perfect tech tree? Yeah, like, do you agree with some of the stuff I said? Do you disagree? Either way, that's cool. Just let me know in the comments. Yeah, we'll have some good discussion and go from there. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Fingers crossed for top 500 this season. We want to add another notch in there. And then next season is the big one. We're going for 15 top 500s, which is going to be really exciting. So thank you guys. Appreciate you. We'll catch the next one. Chicken out. Back.